Hey.
Kaboom. What did you think of the timing of those faces?
Pretty much perfect.
I thought so too.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed this, but we still haven't hit 2 minutes on the live counter.
Oh,
Do you
okay.
know? Do you know why that is?
Why is that?
Because okay, so last time when we did this, I tried to air that video, which was really freaking loud. By the way, the last
Yeah.
time. And so I'm actually kind of thankful people didn't see it because it would have blown their eardrums out.
Got it.
I turned it down this time. No, last time I tried to air it and I started the video and we think that I never hit the go live button.
Yeah.
I'm not convinced that that's what happened
Hmm.
because today I started the video and I hit the go live button immediately.
Okay.
And then 13 seconds later, I realized that it it had like a pop up in front of it that said
Hmm.
like, "Do you really want to go live?"
Oh.
Or like, "This isn't going to be recorded. To StreamYard? Do you care?"
Okay.
And so I thought we were live, but we weren't. But I
Hmm.
had clicked the button. Anyways,
Okay.
that's a mean interface. I don't like it. I think they should change it. Get rid of it.
Yep.
I don't need to be asked that question. I just want to fucking go live. Basically,
Right.
this is what I'm getting at.
I should be very sure before I push that button.
Extra. Do you want to be? How many times do you want to be asked so that you're
No, I'm
absolutely
saying
sure? Oh,
I
I
need the
see.
pressure of push the button and you are live.
You're gonna own that yourself. You don't want the tooling to own that responsibility. Yeah,
That's right.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that. How are you doing, John?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I want to know about this Playdad thing.
I do too. But first, did you get
Okay.
super sick?
Not yet.
Salmonella Dad makes me think maybe you ate some bad fish.
As we discussed pre-stream, I don't know my food poisonings, so I don't know if salmonella is the right one to go for here. But I have not gotten sick yet. However, there's a pretty good chance it could happen tonight.
You have some
Is
chicken
what
sitting
that's all
out?
about. Well, it started with dinner. I made some burgers on the grill, and I didn't cook them nearly enough. They cooked weird. They
A little
they
raw on
like
the
got
inside.
they're real raw on the inside, but like toasty on the outside. And they weren't. It wasn't like the meat was frozen. I think it was just like I put them on earlier than I usually do, and so the temperature wasn't quite right. So it was like low temperature cooking. Is that how you like smoke meat or something? I don't know. Anyway, we were at the dinner table like eating our burgers, and my wife was like, "This isn't done. Like you got to do something about this." And I was like, I
It's
don't
probably
wanna.
fine. I'm just gonna
And
eat it and get
she's
sick.
like, I'm gonna microwave my burger because I don't eat raw meat. And
Right.
I'm like, I believe in the sanctity of food. I think that's the right word. Like, I don't microwave my meat, like, unless it's leftovers and I just don't care about the quality of it anymore. This
Yeah.
was a grilled burger. I'm not going to put it in the microwave. However, I'm
Yeah.
also not going to go out to the backyard and finish grilling it. So I'm just going to eat the thing.
Okay.
So if that doesn't kill me,
Yeah.
I also I also discovered that we had a cream puff from the Wisconsin State Fair in our refrigerator left over that no one ever ate,
And you threw
and
it away because that's what you should do.
and I did not throw it away. I was like, I looked at it and I was like, I'm not going to eat that. It's like 3 weeks old.
Yeah.
And then I was like, no, it actually smells and tastes fine. I'm going to eat it. And Steph supported me and she said, I think if dairy is bad, you'll smell it or taste
Yeah.
it. So
Yeah. You're gonna be
one of
fine.
the two is going to kill me.
Okay. All right. Well,
Tell me more about Play Dad.
so I got something in the mail.
Oh boy.
You might recognize it because there was an artsy hackathon project that Pavlos
That
did.
was my last week of artsy.
Yeah. So this is called a play date. And if you go to play.date, that's their URL. A
Yeah,
little company out of Portland called Panic makes these.
cool.
So I finally got mine in the mail.
Wow, they're shipping them.
I ordered it last March, like March of 2022.
Do you um does it have the artsy game on it?
Not yet. I haven't
You
sideloaded
got to put it
anything.
on there.
Yeah,
You got to put it on there for
I
sure.
do, for sure. So this is my play date, and so I said play dad because that's what I thought of. So I mentioned to you that I had an idea. I think we should make a little game for this.
Oh, cool. I like it. That'd be
Yeah,
super fun. You know who else would be into that is Pavlos.
yeah. We're gonna get him back watching the show.
Yeah, for sure. Or he could be on the show. Like, honestly, he should take my place because he's going to know how to program that stuff. And I'm going to be like, what are we doing?
So that might entail a little more research on my part, so that we're not completely floundering. It doesn't take us 100 episodes to make any progress.
Yeah.
But I have an idea.
Cool. Are you interested in throwing more information about that idea, or do you want to hold on to it until we know if it's
We're
really
not at
happening?
10 past yet, so I think we can keep talking.
Oh yeah,
But-
we can
but
talk for
stop
30
me.
minutes. I don't care. John, nobody's watching.
Nobody's watching. So it has a little crank, right? I can flip.
Yes,
this
I
up,
wanted to see this.
and then you crank it.
Yeah. So like the
And-
example that I remember us talking about was like a fishing game. It'd be cool to do like a fishing game with that.
Correct. Yep. There's like a little. There's a surfing game, and the crank
Mhm.
kind of controls like how you are on the in the wave. It's kind of fun.
That's neat.
So I was trying to think of like what is the dumbest game I can think of. And I was thinking about that while I was like reading the documentation for this system, because it's just a small little thing, and the developer tools are fine, but they're not. They're done by a small company that's an independent engineering outfit. Anyway, like you don't have network connection. Like you can't make an HTTP request.
Yeah. Can you get a network connection on that thing?
No.
It's
Well,
like you have
what
to
do you
plug
mean
it
by
in
that?
through USB. I mean, like, well, how do you get games on it?
It does have a Wi-Fi connect. It is
It does,
capable
okay.
of internet connections. However, that's not exposed to an engineer, to
Sure. To a game
uh,
developer.
to a game developer. Thank you.
Yep.
And so I was thinking about that. I was thinking about like the forces of how you can have to be creative when you have constraints, right? And
Yeah.
that can cause you to come up with like interesting solutions to problems. Okay, so dumbest game I can think of using this system is it like records how many times you crank it.
A counter. A counter.
It,
That's perfect.
it
It's the hello world of Playdate apps.
it counts your cranks. Okay.
Who
And
doesn't do that?
every day you can push something on the interface to generate a QR code.
Okay.
And that QR code is for yesterday's crank count. And then you could use your phone and scan the QR code, and then that makes a HTTP request to my server to upload your score
Sure. And share it to Twitter.
and share it to Mastodon because fuck Elon Musk. So
This sounds amazing, and I'm super excited to do this.
and then the way you get it on is you sideload it. And so there's a page on Panic's website. You sign in with your credentials. You like have a little like a pin on here when you're setting it up, and that's how you pair it with your account. And then sideloading games is super easy. You just like drag a file into this website interface, wait a bit, and it's going to sync over the air to your play date. So
Cool.
after you've scanned your QR code from your phone, then that'll upload your score and produce for you the next day's
Oh.
binary.
Yeah.
And then you sideload it on again, and then you can play the next day, get your QR code, and keep doing that. So
Or, hear me out. You can get a whiteboard and a marker and just keep a number on that whiteboard and erase it the next day. But I love what you're selling me.
But then I'd have like a leaderboard on the website of whoever has used the QR code.
Who's cranking the most?
Yeah. So that's the dumbest idea I can think of.
It's
With
really dumb and
Most
really
complicated
fantastic.
idea I could think of for how to do a leaderboard.
Love it. I love it. Let's finish up this project that we're working on so that we can do that super fun one.
Okay.
Um, what else can we say? Anything else to say? Should I drive today? We decided that you drove yesterday. Okay. So then give me a second to just kind of get things settled here. Actually, John, I'm going to show you something that I discovered
Okay.
about StreamYard. We're gonna present
Well, inside baseball.
inside baseball for sure. This is how the sausage is made. Tunnel vision. Sorry. Check this out. Do you remember when nobody knows this but us. Remember when we were using Zencaster to record the RC Engineering Radio podcast?
Yes.
And we were like, why is this sound crappy?
Yes.
And it was because in Zencaster, there was an echo cancellation feature that was enabled by default. And so it would mute everybody except the person talking. So basically everyone sounded like underwater except for the main talker, if it figured out who the main talker was.
Right.
Well, when I did a stream with Pavlos, I talked all over Pavlos, and that's like a personality flaw that I have, that I'm always working on. but it also made me wonder, like, why was that so bad? And it turns out that this was selected by default
Oh
here.
man.
So
can
I
already hear the
unchecked it.
difference.
I
Yeah.
actually don't know if I have to check it for you also, but I unchecked it and whatever.
It must be a setting that affects the show, because I actually happened to pop into those settings to check something else, and I
Yeah.
noticed that thing was unchecked. So I think you're good.
Were you checking that box the whole time?
What?
Because you're a son of a bitch? Are you the one who... I'm just kidding. All right. I have up a screen right here. Let's pull up this. We pulled this off. We still have the Unsplash client ID hard coded inside of this code. I updated it since the last time we recorded because
That one's not going to work anymore.
we broadcast it to
Good
the
luck,
world.
hackers.
Good luck, one hacker. Anyways, in 4 minutes, we made it so that we could make it hidden, which we did by creating an immediately invoking function execution, so that I could collapse it right here. That was pretty fun.
Well,
But I'm here because I wanted to pull up this, and I'll make my font size a little bit bigger. All right, you're doing a good job. How can we make the image load faster? What we found the last time... Oh, wait, no. First we do the follow-up. How that is Steve going to F up his audio this time? Last time, my audio sounded way better. I watched. Except that I played with my Rubik's Cube for the last 10 minutes, like directly next to the microphone because I'm an idiot. So today, I'm going to do what John does, and I'm going to toss it across the room.
that's smart. That's really smart. In fact, you're reminding me that I better do this.
Perfect. Goodbye, fidgets.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to do some really quick
Hold on,
show and tells.
But the answer to number one is you aren't going to F it up, but your fan is still effing it up.
Man, you can hear that?
With his fan.
Okay. When you said that, I was like, my fan, like Pavlos? Pavlos is our only fan? No. Okay, show and tell. Do you want to see some like image manipulation stuff? Is that interesting to you?
I'd love to know why mine looks a little yellow, like a little jaundiced.
That's perfect. I'm really glad that you want to know that, because I'm going to show you that. I need to find this Figma window. So, where is my Figma window? There it is. Here we go. This is a Figma file where I make all of our thumbnails for our videos. I basically copy one of these and then I change the text. It's fine.
Wow. You are
Here-
so like profesh.
That's super professional, I know. So here is a Figma file, or this is the same Figma file. Here's just a couple frames. I captured these images when we were kind of messing around very early, like before we even went live, because I thought it kind of captured us, like kind of looking at each other with a little bit of like side eye, like playful,
Affection.
whatever. Affection, yeah, like we want to tickle each other, basically, or like we are tickling each other. Anyways, to make with the video that we do, the countdown video, I have these heads that are floating around, And what I did, I literally just took these two images, and you know the remove.bg website. Are you familiar with that one?
Nah.
It's like literally remove.bg. It's
Whoa,
this tool
nice.
where you can like upload an image and then it just finds the background and removes it. I'm not even going to show you. Like remove.bg is a good way. It's a good tool to use. That's
Nice.
it. That's the TLDR there.
End of
But
story.
what I found after I did that was if you look at these two next to each other, your face is a very different tone than mine.
Oh, you match skin tone.
I attempted to match skin tone.
I see.
Because when I had these two next to each other, like when it's just the
Yeah.
heads, and I swear I have them in this file somewhere, I just can't find them. But I guess not.
Maybe I look.
They looked really, really
alien.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like these aren't even two humans; they're different species.
Got it.
So I was like trying to figure out like how do I change the color temperature on a photo. Thought it would be really complicated. Turns out it's like ridiculously simple in Figma. I pasted
Nice.
this thing in, and if I just click on the image fill right here, there's a temperature dial right here. I'm not sure how
Whoa.
well you can see that. I can zoom in on the thing, but I can't zoom in on this.
Sure.
But
I can see
this
fine.
is a temperature dial right here.
Yeah.
So I can change the temperature of you real easy. That's all I did was try to match somewhat.
Got it.
But apparently your skin is very, very pale, and you expect it to look different than this because you think you look jaundiced.
It's the thing of it is I can tell that my hat should be a different color.
Sure, yeah, it definitely is kind of like it looks like somebody peed on it.
Yeah.
All right, we did those things. Let's actually 17 minutes into our stream, do our stream. You drinking anything, John?
Yeah, good old fashioned bullet rye whiskey. How about you?
Perfect. Mine is a Jim Beam and 7-Up.
Ooh, nice.
Orient ourselves. Cool. So we are at a point now where I have. Oops.
Can I see a
don't
demo
have-
of this thing?
Yeah, let's do that. Let me find a browser window. Okay, you can see my browser?
Heck yeah, I can.
Look at that. You're doing a great job. And I'm now actually like plugging in. I only did a couple just because I really wanted to see it. This is like actual things that people have said to me, which friend of the show, she doesn't know she's a friend of the show, but she's a friend of ours.
Yes.
Laura gave this feedback to me and it made me feel really nice. So this is cool. Like this is exactly what I'm looking for is now when I pop this open, I'm just like, oh yeah, that was really nice when I got to pair with Laura. However, let's pop another one.
Oh
1,
boy.
2, 3. It took 3 seconds for that image to come in.
Yeah.
And this is some feedback from my boss that also made me happy.
Nice.
So the whole point of us being here today is we gotta speed up that image. It's ridiculous.
It's got to go faster.
Before we get there, we gotta get this out of the source. Like, where is it? Sorry, new tab. We gotta get this Unsplash client ID out of the source because I don't want to have to keep changing this thing.
Okay.
So
Make a new JavaScript file and include it before this one. Add it
we
to
can
window
do
or
that and
something?
then just have that one ignored. That's definitely a way we can do it. The other thing that I was thinking is we could add it to the form that we have, the new tab form,
Right.
as a field, and then an individual can plug it in there. I think the quickest thing is probably to put it in that separate file and include it, which
Another thought-
satisfies it.
Another thought is there like a way to have settings in a Chrome extension and then it's like not in the way of your form? Instead, it's like when you go to manage your extensions, you know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying. I wonder if we can look that up. Chrome extension settings. That's development.
Oh yeah, there's totally settings. I went to the 1Password one. There's settings in here.
What did you search for? Oh, I see. You just looked at your 1Password.
Yeah, I'm just looking around.
Got it. Give users options. Locating the options page. Users can access the options page by direct link. Man, like the other thing could be in here too. All the markdown. We're not going to move it here. Oh, but look, it's doing what we're already doing. It's adding a whole nother page.
Well,
Am I looking at the wrong thing?
So I'm saying if you go to, like, if you make a new tab and then you go to that puzzle piece menu and go to manage extensions,
Mm-hmm.
and then like, I don't know, pick one, like maybe Google Hangouts, and then just kind of scroll. Like this is a form.
Yeah. Yes. I agree. I feel like there should be a way for us to tap into it. I think that the page that I'm looking at here is different.
Is not that.
It's surprising to me that this is like users can access the options page by direct link, but then this is building an entire form for
the
it.
extension. Oh, I see. Got it.
That's nice. So I just right clicked and I have that. So what I want to know is how can I add just a field to the settings? I don't want to write an entire form.
Right.
I just want to say.
So this is probably how we should do it, but you might be right that the fastest way to move along would be to extract it to a separate JavaScript file, exclude, like, ignore that and move on. What else is on our list for today?
Making that image go faster.
That's right.
Which is far more interesting. I'm surprised that this just goes into the fully complex. Like, I feel like there should be some way to just say, I have a string. It's named this. Put it in the settings. Right. Instead of having to build an entire form for that.
Right. That seems a little silly.
Give users options. I think I'm just looking at the wrong thing. How to use options page? I'm going to just give me 30 seconds to look at this one. Yep, this is the same thing. Adds its own form. I don't like it. Okay. I say let's skip that for now. Unless you find something. I hear you typing.
No, not this.
Ooh, I am new to web development. Use extension options to provide a UI. I don't want to provide a UI.
That's
I want
the thing.
Chrome to provide the UI.
It already has it.
I'm ready to give up on this and just try to do the import from somewhere else.
All right.
Did you find anything interesting?
No, go for it.
Okay, so we actually tried this really quick. I thought that what we could do, and const unsplash client ID is equal to, let's name it 2 so that I don't have a compile error. Unsplash client ID 2 is equal to, sorry, let's destruct it, and pull it from a file like that.
This is not what I'm suggesting.
Yes, because this didn't work. We tried this off stream.
Yes.
And I was surprised that it didn't work. And the error that we got was that require was not a valid keyword. What are you suggesting?
I'm saying, like, go to new tab.html and
another JS file that we include,
right. And then smuggle it out on window. You know, old school shit.
Like this.
Right. So that once config is loaded and mutates window, new tab.js will be able to get that config off a window.
I think that makes sense. I'm going to make myself a little note here.
Sure.
If you don't mind.
Yeah.
I'm going to just add a new file here for 0901. We're not going to stream that day. Steve's follow-up. I'm just going to keep track of the things that I want to do off stream that I just don't think are that valuable. That I can bring back as a show and tell and say, look at these are the changes that I made. So store, like actually use extension options.
Got it.
For the Unsplash client ID. Cool. Because we could waste our time doing that, but counting cranks is way more fun.
Yeah. I'm glad you feel that way.
So what I want to do is I want to go back to, let's see, we were in newtab.html and I added this config.js import. I have this config.js. Shoot. I'm going to pull this off stream for a second because I don't remember if I actually put it in there. I did, but luckily for us, it gets truncated. Oh, it doesn't get truncated. Damn it, I got to change it again.
Yeah, you got to change it again, dude.
It's fine.
That's okay.
All right, whatever. Abandon all hope. I'm sorry. I have violated the Unsplash API terms and conditions because I'm supposed to keep this secret.
Yeah.
And this is now the second time I've not kept it secret. Okay, so we're going to pull this in from config.js, and we're just going to say const unsplash client ID equals that. I mean, should I throw like a window dot?
Yeah. You would have to. Yeah.
We'll throw it on window. And then new tab.html is going to pull that in so that it should be available to new tab.js. And if we look at, oops. If we look at new tab.js, now we should be able to just say, let's just say const unsplash client ID and pull that off of window. Just like that. Just like GitHub Copilot wants me to do. Like this. So I have saved everything, so I should be able to now pop a new tab and it should still work. We still see the text. We still see the miserably slow loading image. I am confident that that works.
Yeah.
But what I want to do is make sure that we go to our git ignore. Do I have a git ignore? I've got to have a git ignore on this thing, right?
I wouldn't say have
git
to.
Ignore. Okay, so we're gonna add a. I don't like that interface. We're gonna do it this way and do a dot git ignore.
Oh.
And the thing that I want to ignore is config.js.
Nice.
So now, when I go to my source control tab, what I should see is this notes file, which I'm not going to commit. New tab.js pulls this thing. Look, it does this silly, it likes my quotes better than your quotes thing. That's frustrating.
It's so cool.
It formats these things differently. That sucks and is super annoying. I just don't care right now. So I'm going to add that, and then I'm going to add this change to new tab.html, which is to include the config.js. And so anyone that pulls this down now is actually going to have a failing extension, right? Because they're not going to have this config.js file.
That's right.
Which is why I want to eventually make it work as with options, because I don't want you to have to like go find the right place to put the config.js.
Totally fair.
Okay, so we're good with this. So I'm gonna let's pull open a terminal. Okay, I just spit it out here to everybody, anyways. It can't take me anywhere. Okay, so I have this here. Let's do a commit, and we'll say extract the Unsplash client ID to a get ignored file. And then I think that you are still my pair. You are.
Yeah.
So I'm going to amend that commit, and then I'm going to push it up. And we, if I go back to here, our agenda for the day, I believe that we are now through this one. Whatever. I'm just going to do that. So this is the most interesting thing to me.
Yeah.
Do you want to switch to drive?
No,
should I keep driving? Okay.
Yeah.
I got this. Cool.
I'm gonna sit.
All right. So cache the image for a certain amount of time. As we have discussed, I can certainly make this extremely complicated. by introducing like, hey, we should have a Lambda function that basically like goes and gets it every day, and then really just serves it as cached.
like
Serves the
a
cached version
like
of it,
a like a proxy.
like a proxy. That sounds right.
And
Or
remind me, we've already tinkered with like quality settings and
yes,
dimensions. Like we feel like the thing is as small as we can get it. It's just that
yeah.
even with all of that optimization we tried, it's still too slow.
Well, I think actually the resizing and requalitying is a lot of what makes it slow to load. I think it's a server side slowness where
Okay,
it's pulling up the image and it's doing all of that resizing as we've requested it, and that's the penalty that we're seeing.
got it.
Because if I, we can actually prove this. If I take this this image URL,
Yeah.
like let's just grab that. If I open it in here, I'd expect this browser instance to have cached it, so it should be instant. But if I go into an incognito window and I hit this, I should not expect, if it's now cached on the server because I requested it with all of these parameters, it should come back instantaneous, right?
Yeah.
If it is indeed just the client caching it, then it should still be slow again,
Let's see.
right? And that came up like instant.
So you think that it came up instantly because Unsplash's servers have now cached this. So if you did another new incognito window and tinkered with one of those settings,
Yeah, like let's
it should
change
be
that.
slow again.
Yeah, let's do that. So let's change it to width 3000
Sure.
and maybe quality. Let's make the quality even lower. So I'm going to hit enter now. Two,
Yeah, it's slow.
three. This is about 3 seconds.
Okay. I'm convinced that what you're observing, like I agree with what you're describing, like you're observing server side caching
Yep.
and resizing incurs a penalty.
Yep, for sure.
So what
So,
if we just don't put any arguments on the image URL?
oh, that is one thing we could try. Didn't we think that it was extremely large? We did a whole bunch of command line curling, and I forget how you were checking file size.
Yeah, because what? Because it was slow in different ways.
Yeah, I think it's still, I mean, I don't know. Like, let's go back to an incognito window and let's just now hit this one directly. It does come up instantly. 6817. It's significantly larger by 4123.
Right.
Let me throw one more medium option at you, which is like, what if we just download it and stick it in local storage and keep it there for an hour?
Keep the binary image data in local storage?
Is that not, maybe that's not the right place to put it, but somewhere?
Huh.
Cache it. So
I'm
I'm
not
like, I
following.
imagine here, let's close out of here. Let's say Chrome extension
I have a stupid
development
idea.
cache. How do I cache data? Five megabytes of storage per profile. We're gonna pretty close to max that out.
Right. Chrome extensions can do work in the background, correct?
I have no idea.
So what if you, every time a new tab is open, cache the next image, like fetch and store the next image?
Sure. Where?
5 megs is not a lot.
The two images will hit that. Um,
But if you only ever need to cache the next one,
one image will hit that.
yeah.
So I think so I'm on board with that, but I also think like even simpler would be just don't worry about the next one, just do the current one and have it last an hour. Basically, like store a timestamp that says when I should go get a new one. Is that more complicated?
So every tab will have the same image. Every new tab
Yes, which I
for an
think would be
hour
fine.
will have the same
For
image.
like an hour would have the same image.
Gotcha. I mean, not as fun, but that'd work.
I think it's fine. The one that I'm using right now keeps the same image for an entire day,
Right.
and it doesn't bother me.
Okay, so but still cache it in that same 5 megs?
That's still that's still the problem. The problem is where do we put it?
So what would it take for you to spin up a
wait.
server? What?
Wait, no. What I just suggested can be accomplished because the browsing data will be preserved. If all we do is cache the URL for an hour, right? Like if I store this URL for 1 hour, sorry, maybe not that one, but this one. If I store this for an hour and use that, if I have it, otherwise go get a new one, then the browser data itself is cached. And so that image would be cached when I hit it again. I lost you.
So what if we just hard code this image URL in the extension
And never
and
change it.
then just hit Command T and see if it's slow?
Yeah, okay. Yes, that's good.
Because I think what you're describing is accomplished by
right.
just never randomizing and just hard coding it.
And I think that we saw that it was slow even when we weren't changing anything.
Yeah. But let's verify, because that's
Yep.
past John and past Steve and those guys.
We
are
did do
idiots.
some things to fetch API endpoint. What is this? Set background image.
So you should just not do that fetch, right?
I'm not even gonna make this call.
Yeah.
And
You just
then
scoop out the part, like maybe it's like another function. It's like set hard coded image, or I don't know, something like that.
it's
you just
this
want-
right here.
Oh yeah, you can just copy and paste those down below.
I can also just go to the CSS.
Yeah, it's true.
Don't I have CSS? I don't have CSS.
Yeah, you do.
Where is it?
It's like right there.
Where?
Style.css. Keep scrolling.
Because I would have expected it. I was looking for new tab.css. So backgrounds.
So we used to have a background URL here.
We totally did. Is it background URL? No, it's background
Image?
image. That's what it was.
Right, and then URL is
URL.
the syntax for,
I don't think I need quotes around that, right?
which is a strange syntax too. But like, shouldn't that just work now?
So this should just be fast as hell. And it's, well, okay.
How
I mean,
about this? It's not.
Seems fast.
It's not
enough.
slow.
I don't see, it's not a 3-second lag. The whole thing doesn't appear for about a half a second. But it's tolerable.
Man.
I can tolerate that. You don't like this.
What if we, for the sake of argument, one more time, go back to that style.css and really really get aggressive with the settings to see if we can get it.
Oh, this is the full one anyways.
Ow.
Dummy.
Stephen Hicks.
Who's a dummy?
We got to have that somewhere. Yeah, there you go.
There it is. Oh yeah, we did WebP also.
Right. Okay.
For the
Now I want to see what it's like.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
But that's okay.
It's getting
because
it. Mm-hmm. No, I screwed something up. I screwed up.
Yeah. Maybe it does
What
need
did I do?
quotes if you're going to have.
The ampersands.
was aggressively red.
What am I doing wrong, John?
I don't know. Do we have an error?
Let's bump this up. We do have an error. What is the error? The error says the server responded with a status of 404, not found. Can I open that URL in a new tab? 404. Because look at that.
Happening?
It's concatenated
Dude,
instead
come
of
on.
replaced.
do you ever edit
Do
code?
you even program computers? Oh, my
I mean,
gosh.
some engineers. Yeah, it's fine.
I mean, honestly, this is like a day in the life. Let's be
Yeah,
real.
for real.
Of me, this is great. This is totally fine.
Okay.
All right. So what I'm saying is because now we already got that, we downloaded that image, the browser is caching it. Like that's internal to the browser. We don't have to try to be smart about that at all. If we just hold on to that URL for an hour, it's going to keep getting that image that it is already cached itself. And we don't need to like try to cache things ourselves.
So only once an hour when you open a new tab will you pay that penalty, and then for the rest of the hour, not so much.
Yes, exactly.
Cool.
Can we do this?
Yeah.
Are you cool with this?
Yeah.
Okay. So I just pulled the thing off the thing. I pulled, what did I do? I removed the background image from that we hard coded into the CSS. That's gone.
Right.
I did it too quickly. But okay, so we're back here. I want to put back the set background image, but what I really want to do here is like, I'm just going to make some notes. What I really want to do is like check to see if I have the URL in local storage. And it's not expired. Come on, GitHub Copilot. If so, use that. If not, go get another and save the URL in local storage. And use that. Am I missing anything with this like pseudo?
Well, one
Does
thing
it
that
make
occurs
sense?
to me is that when we first implemented this, if you scroll a little bit, you'll see the fetch call and the then. And that was like, I think I was driving at the time, and that was just like the easiest thing I could think of to do. when I
Are we gonna refactor?
I think I want to switch to async await.
Okay.
I think even a
You think it's gonna be easier to read?
Yeah, because like whether we get it from the cache or whether we fetch it, I don't want to have that HTML edit. The code that actually sets the background image URL. I want that to come once. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
24 and 25 shouldn't be repeated.
Sure.
If we do this right.
Okay. So here's my thought on that. What if we start by making one refactor to extract this? Oh no, we can't. I was thinking just have it return, but it does have to like actually fire this. Okay, we can try to do async await. I've made no changes to this. Let's actually just make sure that it's in a green state. 1, 2, 3 should be here. There it is. It took a little bit longer that time, but
Well, look how gorgeous the photo is.
it's beautiful. Okay, so we're in kind of a green state. Let me just make a commit here so we can wind things back.
Even do we have to? Oh, the commit here is the extraction.
The comments that I made,
Okay.
and the
This is two things. This is the comments about what you want to do next, and the extraction.
the extraction we already committed.
Well, then
Except
why
for
would
the
you?
git ignore.
Oh,
Extract unsplash client ID to a git ignore file. Oh, pair is busted.
I know. That's what we should do next time is fix pair.
Let's fix pair. That's cool. That sounds fun. Okay.
So you want to git add, git ignore, and then
Yeah.
git commit amend.
I have a git
Ooh.
fix command that'll basically just edit that last commit, add it to that last commit.
Mine's called cheddar.
Cheddar. It stands for
Who cares?
something.
Let's not talk about it.
It's fun. Okay, so whatever. Git add new tab .js, and I'm just gonna commit this working notes. Do you want credit for that?
No.
For that nonsense? No, that shit's yours. Okay. All right. So let's do our refactor first, right?
Yeah.
So this is the old adage of Kent Beck that one of the two of us is like guaranteed to mention in every conversation.
It's true. Oh man.
Make the change easy, then make the easy change. Okay, so I think the first thing we need to do is say that this is an async function. And then we will await fetch API endpoint, and that's going to be const response gets that. And then this becomes const JSON equals await response JSON. And then this becomes const data receives awaits. No.
No, I think it's just then you can have 20. You can outdent 21. On down.
Where did? Oh, data. Got it. Data is the argument passed into that. So we get rid of that. We name this data, and then we can say, get rid of all those things. Go to here. I'm going to save this. It should reformat for us. So now what we have is we have an asynchronous function that awaits fetch, then awaits response.json, the world's worst API. And then...
And like they had a chance to make this better with fetch,
with fetch,
and they did it. And they didn't.
They chose not to.
No. Oh my God.
So that's our asynchronous function. The other thing we need to do is here. This is just going to now return a promise. We'll need to like await that, right?
And then
I think we're going to get no top level await. Is that where what?
Is that where the bubbling up of the awaits ends is on line 52?
Let's find out what happens. We are definitely broken. Because we're not getting anything there. Let's look at our console. Await is only valid in async functions and at the top level bodies of modules. So do you know how to solve this?
No, I don't.
There is a way to do this, where you basically create a function and then call it, kind of an immediately invoked function execution type of situation. Let's see if we can find this. How to fix it using await expressions in async functions. Wrong async function. You can also, oh no, this is the one. Top level wait. So you wrap your code in an async iffy, immediately invoked function expression. Oh, I said execution. So this like syntax is kind of weird. But basically because this thing is wrapped in, I'll make that bigger. That's pretty small. Because this thing is wrapped in parentheses, it's a thing, and it happens to be a function, and you can execute it right away. And then, so basically what I want to capture is this part right here. And I'm going to jump back to my code. And then, I think what I actually do want to do is like wrap this whole block.
I think that's kind of cool. Yeah.
And then we close the parens and then open and close again. I'll save this to format.
Because now await is valid on any line inside of that iffy.
Yes. So this is like, yeah, exactly. You said it better than I would have. So let's try that and see what we get. We do have data showing up here. That's a good sign. And we have an image. That's a really pretty one. I like it.
That's good.
Cool. So we did our thing. So can I make a commit?
Can you scroll? I want to look at it before we commit it.
Sure. This is our function. Let me see if I can make a way to show you more.
Okay, so this is a mixture of constructing a URL using fetch and the await JSON to get data out. Then what's happening on 19? Raw. Oh, right. So URLs is just like the top level key.
Yeah.
It's an object that's returned. Right. It's an object that's returned. So actually on 18, another way we could improve this is that 18, like the const there is not data. It's like an image. It's like an image from the Unsplash API.
You want to rename that?
Yeah, and then this becomes image.urls, and we're wanting the raw. So do we use raw anywhere else? Sorry, I'm.
No, I think that's it.
I guess what I'm saying is we could say image.urls.raw.split. Yeah, like why are we?
Love Demeter.
I never met a Demeter. I didn't.
And then we call it raw base. This reeks of John Red. Let me say.
What's that?
This is like let's just get a thing, name it one thing, then let's get another thing, name it another thing, then let's get another thing and name it another thing. That it's not a bad thing. I love this about you. But this is cool. I think it's cool if you want to go this way. So what we really want to do is image.urls. Oops. Raw base is equal to image.urls dot split whatever. And then, so let's just save that. Like I'm kind of using this as like our green red loop. Make sure it's still working. Because even though we don't write tests, we're still testing. Ooh, that's taking a long time. That feels wrong. And there's an error, and it tells me image.urls.split is not a function. Was there an async await in there?
It's image.urls.raw.split.
Ah, yes. Thank you. So let's go back to here. .raw. Go back to here. Close this. Let's open another one. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's a pretty color. Okay. Okay, so this is now in a green state. And here's what I think is... We should change the name of raw base. How about image URL? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Image URL.
And maybe fixed base is more like small image URL or like optimized image URL or
I should be like actually using
your tool.
Refactoring tools, which I have two options for rename symbol, and I don't know which one to use. So what did you want to name it?
I was thinking about how we are optimizing the image with those parameters.
I love it.
Yeah, it seems.
Is that okay?
Yes.
Optimized image URL is that.
Okay.
I just saved it. Let's check it out. Boom. Holy crap, John. It's 9:54.
Whoa. We just have so much fun together that the time
We're going
flies.
2 hours in this stream.
I know.
Okay. Refactoring. So I think we're in a good state. Another refactoring thought that I have that I don't think we should do right now. I think we should just try to do like the interesting part. This is two different things, right? Like this is getting the data. This is drawing it somewhere. That can happen separately. Because we rewrote this as async await, I think it made it more obvious that this is like a presentation thing instead of a data thing.
Yeah.
Let's leave it for now. Is that okay?
Yep.
And
to
then
me,
let's...
This is enough of a refactor that we should commit here. And I agree with you. And I think it'll even more be obvious once we start getting into whether we're going to load the URL from local storage or whether we're going to hit the API for a new one.
Yes.
That there's more than one thing going on in that set background function, and they should be split up.
Agreed. So check to see if I have the URL in the local store. So
Because really, 13 through 20 is get random unsplash URL image. You know what I mean? Image URL. Like that's what that is. That's what that function.
let's just do that right now.
Extract
So let's
function.
say var, who cares? Unsplash URL is await
Yeah.
get unsplash image.
Do you want to put random in there somewhere? Or does that not matter?
Yeah. Random unsplash image URL. And then we're gonna
I like
just
this better.
make a function that says async function. I'm trying to type fast because I want to get stuff done. And now I'm going to drop that in there. And then instead of this, we're just going to return this.
Yeah.
Like that.
Love it.
Okay, so now we have get random unsplash image URL.
We're calling
which
it.
gets called this, but we moved it from here, so let's put it in there.
Yep. And now it seems so simple, or like I can imagine how we would do this a little differently, where we could
totally. It reads a lot nicer. Yeah. It still works. Oops. It's definitely easier to follow. Oops. So now we can like actually apply some logic here. That's like const
cached unsplash image. Yeah.
Love it. I'm just gonna call it cached image URL.
Sure.
Equals. Look at that.
What?
It's filling stuff in for us. And then if cached image URL, I don't know what that means. I kind of want to just do that.
Yeah.
If cached image URL, it feels like it may not be right. I'm just going to kind of let image URL. And then I'm going to say now image URL would equal cached image URL. Otherwise,
yeah.
Sometimes I can't tell what is actually in my file and what Copilot is hallucinating for me.
This seems right. And then you just got to update 34. Oh, you got to cache it too on 30, but
yep.
Whatever.
So that, and then.
Oh, come on.
Didn't have to do anything. Set unsplash image. Let's make sure that these names are aligned. Unsplash image URL, unsplash image URL. So it sets it. I think this is gonna work. Like, let's just take a quick walk through it.
Well, hold on. You update 35.
Update 35. Yep. Thank you. So now this is image URL.
Nice.
Okay. Image URL variable. We go to Chrome local storage to get unsplash image URL and store it in this cached image URL variable. If that exists, then we set image URL to that. If it did not exist, that means that we had not gotten one. We have to. It has to expire at some point.
That's okay. That's okay.
Okay, baby steps.
Baby steps.
And then image URL this time is going to go call our API and get a random image URL. Then it's going to set that in the local storage so that the next time we come here, it does find it here.
Yep.
And then whichever of those two it ended up with, that's the one that ends up as the background image. So how this should function now, if I pop a tab, is we should just keep seeing the same image over and over. Initially it loads. 1, 2, 3. Oh, taking a long time.
Check for errors.
Yep. Got an error. File not failed to load resource. File not found.
Object.
Image from Chrome. Extension.
What?
This feels like we did is.
Did it hallucinate that Chrome storage local get stuff?
I don't think so. Do you remember I told it to shut up? I think that what's happening is, I think this exists. I think it finds something, but it might not be. It's an object containing something.
Yeah.
So let's console log that.
Yeah. It's not falsy.
Yeah. So console. It's an empty object. That's interesting. So it finds it, but I think we still need to do. This is the thing where I was like, "What are you talking about, Copilot? Why would I need that?"
Mm-hmm.
Or sorry, I think it's probably named this. If that exists, then that equals, whoops. Then use that specific property.
Oh, okay.
I think basically what I think happens is that this API always returns an object.
Yeah.
And whatever key you tell it, that's populated as a property of that name on that object. That's my theory. So if I go back here and we bounce one open, do we see 1, 2, 3? One of them opens up or one of them loads. And now I think when I pop it again, I should see the same thing, but faster.
Ooh.
I
Is
do
it
see the
faster?
same thing. It is faster. It's not as fast as I want it to be,
Damn it.
but it is faster.
Okay.
It is fast enough.
Okay. Steve, this has been such a joy. I always love
gotta
working
call
with
it.
you. 2 red dads. We just got to be done.
We got to be done. People are already asleep. All right, John, I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to put your face up here so I can say goodbye to you. But basically, we made a lot of progress. We still didn't get to the point where we're like caching it for an amount of time. I'm going to do that on my own. Let's start your cool project the next time.
Okay, cool.
Can you be ready for that?
Yes, I will try to.
Okay, cool. All right, John, and 0 viewers, we love you.
Everybody at home, thank you so much. Smash that subscribe button.
Say hello to your children for us. Is that creepy?
It's kind of weird.
Probably. All right, I'm clicking.